Hi, it's interview time. What you're about to watch now, I am so excited to present because this is something that I had been working to put together for a while. One of my favorite films in Hindi cinema from the last few years has been Laila Majnu, which unfortunately many of you have not even watched. Go to Z5, it is streaming there, and go watch the film. So today, I'm talking about not just the film, but the music of the film, which is incredible. And मेरे साथ जुड़ने वाले हैं movie के writer director Sajid Ali, yay! And also the two music composers in the film. This is a long ass conversation, so I've snipped it into two parts. In part one, we are talking to Sajid Ali and Joi Barua. He's amazing, he's very talented, and he's given some of the most amazing songs in the film. O Meri Laila, दोनों version. फिर गई काम से and Lala Zula Zalio. So without further ado, Sajid Ali and Joi Barua, subscribe to the channel. Okay.
Good. Very well. Thank you. Very well.
My day lights up at the sight of this man, Mr. Barua.
Joi Barua is a rock star. If you guys do not follow him on Twitter, you absolutely must, and just see all the things that Joi talks about, which is not limited to just his music, but also Assam and everything that's going on in Assam about the environment. It's fabulous. So Joi, first of all, thank you so much for being a vocal advocate of all things right, and also using your art and your station as an artist to try and bring about change, which I think is crucial and important. So thank you for that, Joi.
Thank you. That was a lovely introduction and opening. Thank you. Honored.
So listen, Laila Majnu, I am obsessed with your film, Sajid, okay? Obsessed. I've seen it 4 times, the 4th time being today morning before joining here with you guys. And one of the most amazing things that came out of Laila Majnu is the jukebox, out of which jitne bhi million views hai, usme se aadhe mere hai. Because I listen to it, I think, every day. So that's why I want to thank you for taking out the time today to talk to me about the music of Laila Majnu, which begins with Joi Barua's song, which is Gayee Kaam se. Now, Gayee Kaam se is the introduction song for Laila. It is a very important song, and it comes within a few minutes of the film starting. You establish her character using this song. So take me through the journey of this song. Joy, do you want to start first? Like, what was it like trying to compose for Gayee Kaam se specifically? Of course, Irshad Kamil के साथ तो अलग conversation करनी पड़ेगी मुझे लंबी चौड़ी about this film. Joy?
While I was composing, I hadn't been to Kashmir. So it was a completely new thing to understand the nuance. It helped that I knew Sajid for a while. But having said that, it was not easy. But Sajid had given me this very clear brief of it being a simple Rolak Tabla song. Keeps an Indian vibe, but has a slightly Kashmiri feel going. You know, I think it was one of those very easily made songs, and it just had to seep into the movie, very easily into the movie, like almost sugar with tea. So it didn't have to, get too much attention, but at the same time, it had to be woven. And there were a couple of scenes which were happening during the song.
And Sajid, what was your brief to Joi about Gayee Kaam se?
To start with, the brief to myself was that this is going to be the first song, and since the film ultimately will become quite dark, I thought it will be good if it resembles the curve of the film itself. So we wanted to start a little juvenile in Laila's space and that mind. So I was looking for a juvenile sound, Then it kind of, as the story progresses, the music starts getting mature. So this was actually the most halka song, I think. But it was required, I think, to set the mood and the mind space of Laila. Joi, I think this was the only song for which the lyrics had come before you'd composed, right?
Right.
So this was done in like how they used to do it in the olden days, where compositions would happen over the lyrics. So this is how this song has also happened. This was very traditional songwriting approach.
But another approach in your music in the film is that none of the actors are lip syncing unless it's in fantasy. The only lip sync is happening when they're imagining themselves to be somewhere else. Why like that? Why did you choose to do that?
What to say? I have some reservations about lip sync. Not that comfortable with it yet. I really truly hope that I can be there and do it with justification.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to make a fool of myself, so I just abstained from it. I just played it safe.
The tonality of the film, like you said, at least for the first half, which is the Laila half, is set by this film, because immediately after this you see her referencing other Bollywood music. She's talking about Maine Pyar Kiya, and she's Dhak Dhak Karne Laga. So she's referencing that, and it really sets the mood that she is juvenile and she doesn't know what she's getting herself into, and she's in for a world of pain right now. Joy, moving on, the second song we have that's been sung by yourself and Sunidhi Chauhan. You hear it a little bit on the radio as Kaise is coming in. This is, of course, Lala Zulo Zalio. Am I saying that right?
Lala Zula Zalio.
Lala Zula Zalio. Meko is gaane mein, come on baby, let's go. Wahan tak kuch samajh nahi aata hai. That's the first line I understand when Joy starts singing. And then when Sunidhi Chauhan comes in, of course. Joy, first question about this. Why Sunidhi Chauhan for this song?
I think the way the composition was in the original Kashmiri melody, what happens is it gives it the sound of a crowd singing. That is the way the melody is. You know, if you talk of simple song syntax or structure, it's the way like about 10 people would sing this together. It's another matter that in the movie there's one guy who's singing it, but it's kind of a chorus which like a lot of people sing. And even the way I sang if you follow it lyrically, it's like a couple of people singing it together. But you know, you aim it, you anticipate, you bring on the anticipation, and then you let the diva come in. We felt it worked. It was not following a particular structure or a set of formulae. So it worked that way. It sounded good that way.
So you discovered this song, I discovered it later in the jukebox when I heard the full version, because in the film it doesn't appear as a full song. It comes on that radio set. So why like that, Sajid? Why did you choose to make it a radio? Because another song comes on the radio later on, which we'll come to next. But why is this particular song only on the radio?
Because I didn't find place for it and I liked the song.
It's really as simple as that.
As simple as that, really. Like there's not much philosophical thought to it more than this.
It's a party song. What do these words mean? Lala, Zula, Zalio.
So this basically is a Kashmiri folk. It's a wedding song.
Huh.
Somebody singing out for the bride's father to decorate his house, put up the lights, etc. Zul is basically those sequence lights. So
right.
Put up the lights in the house, your daughter is getting married. And call people and call everybody for, feasting, etc. And
Sajid, a little about Frankie who sung the song.
Correct.
You would give it the correct background to that.
So this particular song is used in weddings in Kashmir. And how they do it is that they have, and we've also depicted that in the film, they have eunuchs who perform these songs in sangeets, etc. So they become very comfortable. Women become very comfortable around them.
Yeah.
And women also dance, etc. They rejoice. Integral part of the traditions of marriage.
Huh.
And Frankie, the person who sung this song, is an actual performer who does this for a living.
Wonderful.
Goes perform at weddings. This is one of the songs that Frankie used to sing all the time, and I've actually gotten married into Kashmir to a Kashmiri girl, so that's how I knew.
Did you have this song at your wedding? Was it performed at your wedding?
By the same man.
No!
Frankie.
So cute.
And, but the thing is that now coming back to why it was playing on the radio at that time, because it's like, it sets some tonality. Basically, it talks about the dulha is going to come and take the bride away. So that also announces Kaisey's arrival into the story.
Correct.
So now he's come, and now he'll take the bride away and they'll get married. So that is basically the thought behind having that song
placing it over there. Okay, now another song that is my favorite song in the album, and Joy, I've told you this, is Joi Barua's version of Laila, O Meri Laila, which is called the radio edit. Because I'm assuming it was the shorter version and it was sent out for radio plays. I'm assuming that's why it is called the radio edit, right, Joy?
No, actually, since it plays on radio, I think we call it the radio edit. So a lot of people thought it that way. Yeah.
वो भी हाँ ये गाना भी radio में से आ रहा है, in that moment where she's like recharge वापस ले recharge. So why Sajid, in the narrative structure, in the narrative of the film, why use this softer version here in the beginning and not the much bigger song? So because you were saving that for the end credits?
yeah, that also completes the graph. Now it starts with bright sunshine. That was my, I guess, brief to Joy, that it needs to be really like a bright sunshine type feeling, very mellow, halka, just setting the mood and also explaining Kais's mind. So Kais is very different from Majnu. Majnu means जिसको जो जुनून में है. So Majnun. अभी तक वो हुआ नहीं है. Abhi, he's a regular city guy, you know.
We
like
haven't even seen his face until this point.
Yeah, exactly. So that basically setting precedence for whatever is going to happen next, and it kind of gives us a state of his mind before we see him.
Joy, the lyrics of this song are very particular because it's set in Kashmir. Patta anaro ka, patta chinaro ka, jaise hawaon mein. So Irshad Kamil, of course, is a king amongst mortals. He's amazing. So how do you do justice to song lyrics like this when you have to make a softer version also, and then you have to make a dhasu version of the same lyrics?
I think that's the most pertinent question. I fundamentally don't get Hindi. I speak in Hindi, but I don't get nuanced Hindi. I understand it fine. That is where somebody like Sajid really comes and helps it out. Because I tell him, I understand Hindi, but I would not understand a better line from a much better line. That is the problem here. So that is why I need somebody really good who can tell me whether I've done justice to the lyric. I would understand the lyric, but I would not really understand some layers behind it in terms of popular culture or the story. I don't get it. It's, I speak different languages.
Sure.
So I think having Irshad Kamil ensured that lyrics were amazing. That was insurance in itself. So I didn't have to look at that. Not that I would tell him that lyrics don't fit into my song, but he's what he is. And then I have Sajid, who tells me what's the shape of a word in terms of color and in terms of throw. So that is a constant back and forth between us. So I guess that's why it sounds even stronger than what is. And in terms of this song, it is love, but it is not evolved as yet. That is this song. After you hear the song, you have to have that feeling that, probably there exists this song in another space where it is more complete. So in every sense, this song is not complete. It will leave you with a sense of wanting to hear again and again, as if you're trying to find, because it doesn't go to the other frame. Oh, Meri, Lala, it doesn't get there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Love isn't
it is just,
there you are. So when you sing that on and on, sometimes that urge comes that why is it not breaking out? So I think this is one of the things we did, because I actually sang this line in front of Sajid at Balaji Studios only. That I'm going to sing it this way, and it was approved. This line, So this happened there. That this was a decision we take where we leave it incomplete. At that point, in terms of lyric and story, I need a director who understands the music.
Yeah.
Because lyrically, though I understand everything, I still remain challenged. I need the director who properly gives me the graph that this needs to go to a 70% or a 65%. And then we need to come at 100% probably 2 hours later.
Yeah, because here we are still seeing shots of Laila in school. She's still in a uniform. She's still she's getting like an iPhone as a present. And Sajid, I must compliment you. This is the exact way popular girls were in school. We all used to wonder what's going on with them and what's going on in their personal lives. And we would all because I wasn't a popular girl in school. So watching that scene always just makes me very jealous. I wish somebody had gifted me an unsolicited iPhone also. Nobody gave me phones.
So do I.
And then Joy, of course, this song then becomes the ultimate, the closing credits song, Laila, the big Laila song, which you've the Atif Aslam has sung that with Jyotika Tangri. So tell me about that. Why you chose not to sing the final song yourself? Why get Atif there?
See, we had tried a lot of singers, and actually Sajid had told me once to sing it myself. A lot of the people I had worked with said, you sing this.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get into a conflict zone where I'm singing my own songs. This is a story. I wanted to give it the best possible ending.
Acha.
One.
Yeah.
And we were trying a lot of people out here. I was not simply getting what we wanted. It was not happening. And then Z said, should we try Atif? I don't know if Sajid was okay or not okay with. I don't remember that, but I thought yes, because also Atif comes from a place in his singing which is not completely Bollywood. It has its own thing. That is what I really like. If you listen to Atif singing, he feels like as if he's come from a space which is a little different from Bollywood. It's just upon us to extract the best thing out of him.
Yeah.
Or actually, for the longest time, actually Sajid also told me to sing that thing, but I was and we were getting delayed. So at the end, when it came to Atif, Atif wasn't in my head. Neither was it in his. Yeah. But I think it just fell into place. It just fell into place, and I thought it was a lovely decision.
When Atif's suggestion came, I was not as confident as Joi. When Joi really took it, and I was surprised actually. But Joi really took to him, and he was really excited from the time that he heard the suggestion about.
Because it is the most celebratory song of the film, but it is also the most cruel song of the film because they are dead. They are gone.
Yeah.
They are ghosts dancing around all of Kashmir, reclaiming the Kashmir that was taken from them, reclaiming the streets that were taken from them, that they were forced to not be on and not be a part of the city that they loved, and then they fell in love with each other. So, Joi, how do you tackle something like that, which is also a song picturized onto dead people, but it is also the most celebratory and rousing song in the film? It's a happy song.
I think as artists, I think we understand that redemption comes when it's very late. You find happiness beyond things. Happiness doesn't happen in a true state. It is always a state of escapism or just beyond. I had reconciled to the fact of these things, and I think I'm kind of used to a space like that in my own music. Frankly speaking, I think it comes naturally to me to create a sense of optimism when actually nothing exists, to create a sense of dream when none exists. I think that sort of creation and that sort of mood making comes I think that comes naturally to me. But I thought in the film, it was really used with a kind of different gale force. When it came at the end and it was all going down, 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 and there was Munim's song, and he could go no further. That is what it is. It's like beyond death.
Yeah, because the visuals of them wearing white and dancing, it destroyed me. It destroyed me, and it does every single time I watch it. Sajid, so what was your approach towards the visual sequence for Laila?
In Laila Majnu, both these lovers die at the end, and this was something that I had to incorporate while making this film. But I thought to myself, if death couldn't be as manhoos and dull and boring or whatever scary as we perceive it to be, why can't death be actually give us happiness or relief?
Relief.
And that's how this idea came about. This actually was the first song that we did for the film, and we did this song, Joi, if you remember, I guess 2 years before we did this film. And it went through phases where, so basically I had this idea and I was writing the script, and I shared it with Joi, and I told him about this particular, I didn't have a slot for it at that time, but it was like the mood that I wanted for the film. So we had a chat about it, and he made a scratch version of it, and then we developed it, and then came to a consensus on it, and people whom we played it to started liking it, enjoying it, and the film suddenly was shelved. And then the film also went through its cycle of not getting made, and the suspense of it took some time for it to start, and finally it did. And finally we also had, by the time I finished my screenplay, I had a place for it, the best place I could manage to find.
Yeah, I love it.
I think we made the song. We sat down on it for 1.5, 2 years. Then Sajid, then he comes one day, says, maybe we'll have Balaji taking on the movie, and so it's going to be a different kind of thing, and maybe we might have 2 music directors. I said, yeah, whatever it takes, to get a film like this. It was a beautiful story.
Yeah.
So I was not really counting or something. So then we moved on to the first song, then another version. So it was not like we were not counting. Do we have when I let the movie be made? It was a beautiful story.
So after Laila Majnu, Joy, what has been? Did you expect the music to blow up like this, the way it did?
I think I did. Yeah.
You did, huh?
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did because it had good music.
Yeah.
It had good music, and also it had Sajid's brother Imtiaz's name associated, who brings in good music. People expect. So it's not just they expect it from a music company and two new guys. They're also expecting of a director who's known and somebody who's helming the flame.
Album to badhiya.
गाने तो अच्छे हो गए. So both that assumption was built up, and when we had these songs, I knew ये तो पहुंचेंगे. Plus music sometimes compared to the movie, which is one thing I wanted to say, is also music sometimes is an easier thing to put across. You don't have to go to a hall to see hear a song. You can just put on your phones and hear. So I knew once these songs came out, it would be a whole different thing.
But the way that the music has complemented Laila Majnu, and that's why I wanted to talk to Sajid and the music directors together, because I think the music really complements the film, the way it moves forward. It's not one of those instances where the songs are super hit, but they don't really fit into the narrative. The songs really move the film's, one act to the next, to the third act. It's I think, from my reading of the film, it's connected by the music.
That's because also as a director, Sajid gets his music very well.
Sajid, was that conscious to move the acts into each other using music as a bridge?
A lot of times I write listening to music. Whenever I get stuck while writing, I listen to music and immediately it helps. So I think those vibrations, the first language of us humans, I think is music. So that inspires.
Sajid's secret dream is to be a music director. Actually, he tells me something that he'll do his music, and he wants me to direct a film also. In case you haven't heard that.
Yes.
Joy, तुम्हें तो hero बनना चाहिए. तुम क्या direction में जा रहे हो? You should become hero.
अगर आप heroine बन रहे हो तो मैं madam, I'll take up your. You are making an offer I cannot refuse.
Stop it. Once the lockdown is over, once you're vaccinated, then we'll talk.
मैं शाकाल पे फिल्म बनाना चाह रहा हूँ.
Yes. Kulbhushan Kharbanda.
I will find the music director appropriate. Don't worry.
Kulbhushan Kharbanda doppelganger. Listen, Joy, thank you for sharing the journey of Laila Majnu. It's a fabulous album. I love each and every track, and Meri Laila, I told you your version is my favorite track in the film. So it's yours also? Yay.
Yeah.
Joy, are you frozen? No, you're just looking at me very intently. So, thank you, Joi Barua. And Sajid, I will continue talking with you about the rest of the music. But Joy, you are a star.
Thank you, Sucharita. Thank you for having me over.
It's heartwarming that 2 years post the release and the film tanking in its first week, we're still talking about the music. That really is very assuring.
When the movie came out, actually Sucharita was one of the strongest voices for the music. She and I would connect on Twitter and social. She was the strongest voice for the music, and still is. Yeah. So that is.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
I couldn't stop tweeting about it. I was just tweeting constantly, like, why aren't you guys?
Yeah. She would write continuously about it. She has been the strongest voice on social media, if you think. I don't know if you know this.
Thank you very much. And I'm unfortunately not on any social media, so I wouldn't know.
Good only. Don't. Wasn't that amazing? So you're going to come back for part 2, right? You have to, because Sajid will be with me, and अब हमारे साथ होंगे Niladri Kumar. Niladri Kumar has also done wonders with this album. There's the Ahista song. There is both the versions of Tum, Atif, Aslam and Javed Ali. Sarphiri, Hafiz, which has been sung by Chauhan. Fabulous songs, fabulous work. So come back in a few days where we're going to talk to Niladri Kumar about that. Subscribe.